Rating of properties on digital connectivity is on telecom regulators' mind. Joining me today in this conversation is TRAI Chairman Mr. Anil Kumar Lahoti. Sir, many thanks for speaking to PTI.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, and thank you for taking me on PTI. Thank you.
Let's start off with this whole initiative that TRAI has taken on rating of properties on digital connectivity. What was the need for this initiative?
Yeah, it's a very important and new initiative which TRAI has taken up. So you see, today when anybody buys or rents a flat or maybe rents office premises, and the moment you occupy it, the first problem that you encounter is connectivity. You buy an expensive flat or rent an expensive flat. When you move in, you find that your mobile is not working, or you don't have internet connectivity in all the rooms. So, and in today's world, when your entire social, professional, economic life needs digital connectivity, this becomes a serious constraint, and the person starts looking for solution, and they have to struggle for days, sometimes weeks, or sometimes maybe even longer, and sometimes they don't even get finally a good satisfactory solution. So, but the good thing is that all this is solvable. This can be solved by providing engineered solutions inside the buildings, and it is important that property developers now start working on these lines, and in order to nudge the property developers or the project proponents to provide good digital connectivity inside built premises, and to keep a prospective buyer or tenant to be informed about the quality that he or she is going to get, we have come out with this regulation.
Take us through the big takeaways, one from the regulation as also the rating system itself. What are the big 2 or 3 things that this framework looks to do?
You see, the regulation that we have issued provides a standard and transparent framework for rating of the built premises with respect to its digital connectivity. So, and it also works as a reference for any project proponent or a property developer regarding what all they should keep in mind in order to provide a good digital connectivity quality inside the building. And it also facilitates collaboration between the property developers and the telecom service providers. So, these are the broad contours of this regulatory framework. So, so while doing rating of a building or an area in respect of its quality, we take a look at it regarding the quality of the access, the number of fiber routes that have been provided, the redundancy in fiber routes, the power supply, the power backup available, and what is likely to be the quality of the connectivity experience. So, and availability of number of service providers in the built premise. All these factors are kept in view, for which a transparent framework has been given.
What is the next step in having this rating in place from TRAI's point of view? What are the next steps that you are going to take?
So, we have already issued the regulation for the rating framework, which elaborates the complete rating framework. We have also initiated the process of empanelling agencies who can do the rating, and that calling of application is already on. I am happy to share that we have already received applications from 5 of very good agencies in this regard, showing interest to get empaneled, and we have also issued a draft manual on the rating system, so that there is a uniform, standard, transparent process for the rating, which is known across all the rating agencies and the property managers who are seeking the rating and the entire process. So, that manual has also been issued, and after that it is for any property manager to approach a rating agencies and get the rating.
So these empanelment that you said that 5 agencies have evinced interest, these are to become DCRAs.
Yeah, these will be digital connectivity rating agencies. Yeah.
Okay, which will then rate the properties based on certain rules and norms that you have fixed. And just to simplify this a bit more, ultimately, can you have multiple DCRAs? Is that the idea? How many are you going to empanel in the first phase? What is the roadmap from here?
Yes. So, there is no limit on the number of DCRAs. Those the agencies which qualify the norms which we have stipulated for getting empaneled, all can get empaneled, and their list will be available on the TRAI's website. The rating itself will be in the form of star rating. It is a very simple thing. So, a property meeting all the norms and in the highest range will get a 5-star rating, and a property which has a poor digital connectivity may get 1 star. So, for a common person to understand how good is the digital connectivity infrastructure in a particular property, simply a star rating will be available. This is very similar to our green building rating system for as well as the energy efficiency rating of appliances, where star ratings are available, and you can just by way of the rating you can make out how where does the appliance or the property stand. So, it is that kind of system which will be working here.
So, in case of an electric appliance, I actually can see the appliance, and there is usually a sticker which says, what kind of power saving and efficiencies are supported by that particular product. In this case, where buildings are concerned and digital connectivity is concerned, what kind, where will those labels be visible? Where will those labels be apparent?
So, firstly, the entire rating will be available on TRAI's website. So, we are building a digital platform on which the entire process will flow, and the final rating will also be available for anybody to see. At the same time, the project proponent or the property developer can also display the rating that they have obtained from the rating agency.
So my question to you is this applicable only on private builders and residential properties, or does it extend to public and government owned buildings and infrastructure? And also whether this is going to be voluntary to start with and going on to become mandatory at some point of time, because really a framework till it is mandated may not get adopted by the property developers or builders.
Yeah. So, firstly, it is not restricted to only property or only private properties or only government properties. It is comprehensive. It is applicable to all the kind of built premises, which may be residential apartments, office complex, commercial complex, maybe stadiums, convention centers, public buildings, transportation hubs like metro station, airports, etc. All kind of built premises are intended to be covered in this framework, and whether it is a private premise or it is a government premise. So, we have recommended to the government that being a central government policy, it may be made mandatory for the central sector projects which are funded by the central government or are under the central government schemes. As far as the state governments are concerned, the decision whether it is to be made mandatory or voluntary is to be taken by the respective state government, as also the bylaws are under the state and the municipal corporation. So, that decision also will be taken by them. But we do believe that once the government starts doing this process of rating of the properties, it is likely to act as a catalyst, and once it comes in the mind of the public at large, the private sector will naturally start taking it seriously.
Is it important for the government to accept these recommendations for the whole framework to take off, or because you have regulation powers and that is sacrosanct, can bits and parts of it go live?
Yeah, it is not, the two things are not contingent upon each other, they are complementary, I would say. So, the regulation is already in force and the rating of properties can start. The policy framework enabling provisions in the National Building Code and in the Model Building Bylaws can process concurrently. Yeah.
At the end of the day, what does this initiative mean for quality of telecom services in the country? Because at the end of the day, that is what counts so far as telecom connectivity is concerned.
So, as I said, the industry estimates show that more than 80% of the data consumption takes place inside built premises. So, by and large, the experience that you get inside in terms of your call drops or in terms of your internet connectivity inside a building influences your experience of the telecommunication or the digital connectivity. So, this is very important as far as the telecom quality is concerned. The provision of in-building solution inside the building premises will complement the network being provided outside by the telecom service providers. We have already come out with a very detailed and stringent regulation for the quality of service, and the TSPs are working on that, which will improve the network. But it needs to be complemented with good in-building solutions for particularly because now we have dense built environments, multi-storied buildings, etc., complexes, commercial complexes, etc. So, one more thing which I think we have to remember is that as we are moving to 5G, etc., we are using higher frequency spectrums. So, while these higher frequency spectrums have more data carrying capacity, which is the need of the hour, but their capacity to penetrate walls, etc., is lesser. So, it becomes important that you should have in-building solution. So, as the 5G is getting proliferated, and also we have to prepare for the future 6G. So, in order to have a seamless digital connectivity experience, it is important that we should have the in-building digital connectivity solutions.
So, in the past on various issues, telecom operators have sometimes taken a very contrarian view to the policies and regulations and recommendations. On this particular issue, is there a uniformity where the telcos are also on the board saying that yes, this is what we want, because yes, as we proceed towards 5G and 6G, this in-building solution will become very important. Like you mentioned, 80% of connectivity is within buildings. We are of course working within workspaces, office spaces as well as homes. Is there a uniformity of view? How will this initiative bring together a collaboration amongst different stakeholders like real estate regulators, developers, policymakers, and of course the telecom operators?
Yeah, you see, firstly the regulation or the recommendations that we issue, it has been done after consultation with all the stakeholders. This initiative particularly, I believe, is a win-win situation for all, including the property developer, the occupant or habitant of the property or the user of the property, and the telecom service provider also. At the end of it, if a subscriber having subscription of a particular service provider is frustrated by a poor experience inside a building, the telecom service provider is also gets a negative feedback. So, if we have good in-building solution, their effort to strengthen the network is complemented.
So, realistically speaking, by when do you think it will become a norm in India? Where it becomes like a natural extension for a person to look at the rating of the building in terms of digital connectivity to decide on whether they want to buy or lease or rent?
I believe that it is such an important thing that it should start rolling fast, and if we get the right initiatives from various project proponents in this regard, it is a matter of few years within which I think people will be aware about this, and more properties will be looking for getting this rating. Even for private property developers, I think it will become an important USP for them, because when a person or an entity is looking for a property, and if they know that the DCI rating of this building is high, that it will be a sought after property. So, I think it should roll out with that.
I also wanted to ask you, for buildings of public importance, and there are many, will these TRAI regulations also provide for rating of existing buildings, especially given the ones which are prominent?
So, this regulation which we have issued is not merely for new projects. The rating can be done for the existing buildings also, and many times I think the property managers or the project proponents who may like to retrofit their buildings, I think this will act as a catalyst, and they may retrofit their buildings with good quality digital connectivity infrastructure and obtain a rating for their property. It should be possible.
And when will the rating system start? And by when will you look to complete the empanelment? Is it in a month or two?
I think we should have the first empanelment list by the end of this month.
Which means that they can immediately start on the...
They can immediately start, and as I am hearing, already some properties have already started inquiring. So, we should have a very early start.
So, to put confidence in this whole system and process, would you be offering TRAI headquarters as possibly the first of the buildings or government buildings to voluntarily embrace this, the rating system, to showcase to others of, what benchmarks or gold standards of digital connectivity buildings should go after?
So, about TRAI headquarters, I can proudly say that it has the digital connectivity infrastructure in this office has been provided, keeping in view all the principles that we have initiated in the regulation. So, that is one part, yes, but as I understand, we will get some interest from government properties. So, that is likely to come up. We may get interest from properties which are quite well designed in terms of digital connectivity infrastructure. So, I think that will showcase the intent of the government.
Mr. Anil Kumar Lahoti, it was wonderful speaking to you. Many thanks for speaking to PTI, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for speaking to all your subscribers.